just shocked when they announced that I was the winner.
I'm sure. I would be too.
But of course, you girls work so hard, so you're very deserving of it. And I think a lot of people think that when
All right, we are back at the News 10 Plus digital desk. I am Crystal Holloman, a digital reporter here at News 10. I am joined by sports co-director Tim Staudt. Welcome back.
Thank you.
Fred filled in for you.
Pardon? Yeah.
Fred filled in. He did an okay job.
Good for that. I'm glad to hear that.
Yeah.
I'm glad to hear that. We were up north.
How was it?
A little cooler than what it is here.
Okay.
Father's Day weekend up north is a good time, especially when the weather's good. It was clear like it is every place else in Michigan, but it was a little bit cooler, and that was fine.
All right. Good to hear it. We're going to talk a little bit about sports. Like you said, you had run into quite a few people who picked Wyndham Clark to
50, 60, 70. They all claim they picked Wyndham Clark. I had him getting cut and shooting 90 in the first round.
I'm not claiming. I have proof.
Oh, you do?
From Wednesday's show.
Did you win any money doing
I
it?
didn't. But that's okay. It's not what it's about.
Put a little money on it, and then see how easy it is to pick these guys. Put a
What
little
is
of
it
your
about?
own cash on it, and then see how easy it is.
Okay, I don't make.
See how good these guys look when you got your own cash. Everybody can win it when you don't have anything going on it. Everybody's a winner.
Okay. Just let me have this, okay? But we are going to talk about some of the top sports headlines of the day. And one that a lot of people are talking about online, especially, is that Draymond Green has declined a $27.6 million player option with the Warriors. Thoughts on that? That's a lot of money. If I had that much money, I would have put it down on Wyndham Clark.
Just re-signed with the Warriors for another fill-in-the-blank million. I mean, he says he wants to end his career and go. This is what they do. You become a free agent. If they want you, they know they got to bid more to get you. He has nothing to lose by doing that. It's not official till June 30th. Mm-hmm. And I'm sure the Warriors fully expected that. It's not a move to get away from the team, which he still has. Nobody's going to pay him. At his age, at his length, he's too expensive for a short-term deal. I would be very surprised if he doesn't end back with Golden State, but for ridiculously more money.
Is there any place else you can see him playing other than Golden
No,
State?
zero.
That's it?
That doesn't mean he won't, but it's a negotiating ploy. I mean, the Warriors want him back. If they want him back, they're going to have to take him on his terms as a free agent, not as a guy under contract the way he is. They want him back. I don't think he fits. He certainly doesn't fit Detroit, in my opinion, not in the least. He's a role player on a good team. That's what he's done. Why does he want to go to a loser at this stage of his career?
So you definitely want to go to Detroit, is what you're saying.
You're not a big shot if you play for a loser. For anybody who's a loser. I'd just be surprised if he ends up anywhere but Golden State for another 10, 13, 15 million bucks.
Well,
He wants to get paid like the Phoenix guys, 4 guys at $40 million a year. He wants to get paid like that.
We do have some news on the Phoenix Suns, though. They are reportedly getting Bradley Beal in exchange for this is a deal with the Washington Wizards, including in exchange for Chris Paul.
I mean, I wish them all
more
well.
moves ahead of the draft.
I mean, it's just, I wish them all well. I mean, it's just like playing euchre, and you shuffle the cards, and you hope you get a good set of cards for the next round, and they hope these guys are the guys. I can't imagine paying $160 million to 4 basketball players in 1 year, but that's what they're going to get. What's a 5th guy get? Does he feel left out?
I would.
I mean, does he take a paltry $25 million? I mean, whatever it is. I can't imagine. Matt Ishbia, he could have retired with how many billion and just gone to Tahiti and relaxed, got a boat, all that. No. He's going to get in the middle of pro sports and pay these guys all this money, and they're not going to win it all. I mean, they're just not going to do it. I mean, it amazes me what motivates people with that kind of money.
People with that kind of money, meaning
Pro
the
owners.
The owners. And Ishbia is only part owner, correct?
He is a controlling interest.
Controlling interest. Okay. All right. Well, if you've got thoughts on where you think Draymond Green will land, of course, we have our live chat going on Facebook and YouTube.
Bet Golden State. Just Take my word for it. Bet Golden State.
Okay. You told me to bet on Wyndham Clark, and I should have,
Yeah.
but we're going to check in on the College Men's World Series really quick. TCU just scored another run. They are now up 3-0 over Oral Roberts. That is Division I elimination game in the Men's College World Series. You been following that at all?
Not nearly as much. I mean, they've lost Virginia and Stanford, and there'll be 2 more going out today. To me, the 2 best teams are Wake Forest and LSU. However, in that kind of a short tournament, upsets can occur, or baseball, you might have a good week, bad week. Good week you're in, bad week you're out. Wake Forest is the #1 seed. I think it comes down like anything else in baseball, who pitches the best. That LSU guy's pretty good. That relief pitcher throws at 200 miles an hour, 300 miles an hour, 400 miles an hour. They don't hit it. He's great because you don't need a catcher to give you signals. You just get it and throw it. Nobody's going to hit it.
So,
but he can't pitch every game.
how is Florida #2 with 0 losses in here? I'm just looking at this bracket really quick.
But they haven't lost a game.
They haven't lost a single game.
Well, then
Neither
they-
has Wake Forest.
Right.
And Oral Roberts has lost 1.
It's an elimination game today. Yeah.
All right. Well, I think College World Series is one of the best times of year. It's one of the most exciting times, I think, in college sports, personally.
I'm happy for you. I'm very happy for you. If you're happy, I'm happy.
All right. Well, we're going to talk
I'd
a
like
little...
to see the College World Series winner play the Kansas City Royals because it'd be tight. It'd be tight. I've never seen a major league season that had 2 minor league teams in the field, which are Oakland and Kansas City. And by the way, Oklahoma City has the best record of any minor league team at 47-21. If they played Oakland or Kansas City in a 3-game series, it'd be tight.
When's the last... Like, you said you've never seen a season like that?
Oh, I just can't
What's
believe
changed?
the quality of talent.
Okay.
There are so many guys, in my opinion, who should not be in Major League Baseball and are getting salaries through the roof because you got to fill them out with something. I mean, if you get a chance tonight, take a peek at Kansas City because they're special.
I mean, they did lose to the Tigers last night, 4-6. Of course, that's not saying a whole lot, but that is the series that Tigers are in right now.
I think the Tigers can win the division. They can go 75-87. They can win it by default.
Well, the division's not very good.
There's no winning teams. There's
Yeah.
no 500 teams. They're all terrible. And now the Twins come in this weekend. There's another harvest. I mean, it's awful. I mean, when I think of who I grew up with and who I saw play, now there were 16 teams, not 30. That's part of the problem right there.
Okay.
It's just, are there good players? Yes. Are there very good players? Yes. But this pitch count thing and getting all these pitchers injured, they don't have any dominating pitchers because, like last night, Kansas City's up 4-0. I said, well, he's coming out. And let me tell you, when you've lost 52 games, it tells me your bullpen isn't really solid. So sooner or later, the Tigers will wake up and they'll win a game. They're not very good either, but they're better than Kansas City. They're 31-40, and I think they're right in it, in this division.
At 31-40.
Yeah, I mean, they're 4 games out. I mean, they could be in first place by the end of the week. He doesn't think so. I do.
Okay.
They don't play anybody.
Why don't you guys do this show together? Why do you guys need me here?
Because we argue enough as it is all day, and I can get this at home from my wife, or I can come in and get it from him, and occasionally from you. So, occasionally.
Occasionally, but not often.
But between my wife, Fred, and you know more sports than those 2 combined. And throw me in there, too, frankly.
It's not true.
I walk in there and tell him everything you just told me, and now we know something.
That's not true.
Most of the time she comes in and says, well, we're going to talk about that story. Fred, I said, I don't know anything about that story. Do you know about that story? No, I don't know anything about that. So fill us in. So one of these nights we'll just give you the script. You go read it, and we'll go home. We'll go play golf or whatever.
Absolutely not. Well, one thing you guys were telling me is there's a Langsburg player who's a dual threat. You guys are going to talk about.
Ellie Baines is playing tomorrow. There's 2 All-Star games tomorrow night. There's the high school boys and girls basketball all-star doubleheader at 6 o'clock at Lansing Community College. They've had it for years. Mm-hmm. And at 6 and 8 or whatever, there's a doubleheader for girls softball at Randy Park. So this Ellie Baines from Langsburg, she's good in both, so she's playing in both. She's playing at 6 o'clock in the basketball game, and then she's going over to Randy Park, changing her uniform, and she'll play in the softball game.
Wow.
Good for her.
That's going to be amazing. I'm really excited to see her,
Good for her.
results for that. So that's what we got coming up on the Sports Desk. Anything else I may have missed?
Well, it's 3:45. Something could break between now and then.
Usually does.
Between now and, well, but the summertime, the high school season's all done. The colleges are quote unquote kind of resting a bit, although with them nothing's ever stagnant. And if we don't have a lot of good stories, maybe we'll just make some up. We'll just make them up.
That's what we're going to do.
Put them on there and see if anybody notices. We'll just see if anybody notices one way or the other. Anyway, if you get a chance, take a look at the Kansas City. And by the way, so I asked Brock today, you tell me, what percentage of spectators who attend Tiger home games go once a year and it's the big family outing? His answer surprised me. He said 51%. That to me seems very high.
I would have said way lower.
I would have said way lower.
But I didn't grow up in a baseball household. I think that's what we have to take into consideration.
So my point is, if you were going to take the fam at major league prices, parking prices, concession prices to one Tiger game, would you go see the Kansas City Royals? To me, they should let you in free.
I would only go because what you said earlier, I think the Tigers.
So then Ann Emmerich's husband texts me. He had nothing to do, so he's listening. He says the reason you go watch the Royals is because the Tigers can finally win a game.
That's what I'm saying. Why not?
Smart aleck as he is, He's been around me too much, believe me.
If I'm going to take the family out to anything, honestly, it's going to be a Lugnuts game. They've had incredible crowds.
Okay, but what I'm saying is, when I was young, I'd say this was a different. Where it was 1850. Okay, so I'd say, well, the Red Sox are in town, Dad, next week. Can we go Friday? And you see the starting pitch. Oh man, the great pitchers. Okay, so let's go. Oh, the Yankees are in town. Okay, let's go to. But why do you want to go see the absolute worst team in baseball at those prices if you only go once a year? And a lot of people now go once a year because it's
so
too expensive.
Right.
They go to Lugnuts as many times you want to go.
It would have to be a certain team that they were playing, like maybe my nephew or somebody really likes a pitcher from another team, and this is your only chance to see him in person.
But wait till they see those concession prices. I've been to 5-star restaurants in Paris where the prime meal is cheaper than a hot dog and a beer at Comerica Park.
In euros or U.S. dollar?
I'm just telling you, I've been to some of the finest restaurants in the world, and it's cheaper to eat there than it is to eat at these concession stands.
That's what the Lions were doing with their deals on the food because they were getting so much flack for that. They were having deals on, was it like a piece of pizza or a hot dog?
Flack, and I think it's very unfair. Yeah. They should get more. And yet at the Meyer LPGA Classic this last week, to me, the hot story was not who was winning, was not who at the crowd. I looked at the menu. You know how much hot dogs were at the Meyer LPGA Classic? $2. 2 for a brat, 4 for a hamburger, 2 for a beer, 2 for a soft drink, and $1 for chips and peanuts. So don't Now look, Meyer's doing it because they don't want to gouge people. They want people to go. Yeah. They want them to enjoy and come back the next day, and that's one way to do it.
Isn't that what the Lions were doing? A little bit?
The Lions, you got to take a loan to get a drink or some food at the Lions game. You have to get a loan there. No. All right.
I guess that's what we got.
I have nothing that. You realize whoever watched this learned absolutely nothing, at least from me.
It's not helping.
For the course.
That's not helping me out with my pitch to management.
You'd be better off to go down on a street corner here. Find somebody that can add 2 and 2, bring them in here and have them give you their opinion on all that. Because you know what? The great thing about sports opinions, you don't have any knowledge to give them. You just say, make it sound like you know what you're talking about.
Some people do stats, and you guys are fine.
All right.
Some people walk in front of our camera. It's fine. All right. Well.
You can get through the rest of the day.
We will get through the rest of the day.
Anything for you the rest of the day is going to be an upgrade.
I'm out of here in 12 minutes. So.
All right. What a way to end your day.
That's what we got coming up.
All day to get to this.
Make sure you tune in to the Sports Desk, especially on Ellie and her dual sport playing this weekend, basketball and softball. Thanks for watching.
Home run, Tigers take the lead, 6-4. The 2-2. Fly ball, right field, hooking by the foul pole. Go!